Okay, it is setting up. Give me 1 second. Okay, it's started. Okay. Okay, it is setting up. Give me 1 second. Okay. Yeah. Let me share the link, and you can share that on the WhatsApp. So that's the live stream that I shared. Okay, let me also start the recording.
I'll do it.
Yeah. Okay. So we are learning the second adhyaya, second valli of the Katopanishad. So it has 2 chapters, each one with 3 vallis. So we have finished the first chapter, 3 vallis, and now we are doing the second valli of the second chapter. So one more to go, and the next coming topics are in the verses are fantastic because there's a lot of significance in sadhana. So we'll go through that. Let me share the Upanishad and then we'll start. Let me know when you see it.
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah. Okay. So we have completed, I think 6, 7. We have completed 7 mantras in this valli, and so just to quickly summarize, you can see that the Upanishad, this valli starts with Puram Ekadasha Dwaram Ajasya Avakrachetasah Anusthayana Shochati Vimuktascha Vimuchyate Etad Vaikat. So what it is saying is Puram Ekadasha, it's saying the city of 11 doors, which is the body, and body is the city of 11 doors, and it's Pura, which also means that which is Purana, that is, it is fully endowed with all the faculties that is necessary to do sadhana. So that's why it's called Pura, because it has all of the faculties required for sadhana. So Puram, 11 doors. This is the Pura of 11 doors. Then, but it says this is Ajasya Avakrachetasah. That means it does not belong to, or it is not owned by the one that is born in it, but it is owned by the one who is Aja, who is unborn and has no Ajnana. So we are born in this body, but this body is not owned by us, right? And I said the way to establish the meaning is to first of all look at what the intro is, and the introduction is saying is this whole section is going to talk about how in the sadhana this is one of the important steps where we understand that we don't own it. We don't own, we use it, right? The body is for our use, it's a gift, right? So that is once you understand, that's a mentality shift. So when you shift it from the ownership mentality to this is something, it's a gift that's given to us, it's an opportunity that's given to us that we need to make use of, then the whole attitude will change, and that's how sadhana will progress. So then that's what the Upanishad says, Anusthaya na shochati. Once you understand and once you come to this frame of mind, once you have this attitude, na shochati, dukkha will go away. There's not going to be any suffering. Suffering goes away. And then it says, vimuktascha vimuchyate. The one who is freed here becomes freed. And I told you that this is a very important concept. What you gain here is what you are going to stay with. That means death is not something magical where what you are not, you become, or your problems will all go away. Rather, actually, even after death, you actually carry the baggage that we have. So if you are crazy now, you will remain crazy. So death will not erase it, right? So if you have bad karma, you are going to continue with bad karma to even worse. So that is the reason why the Upanishad says, if you are free here, then you will be free there. Which means with that attitude, free yourself in this birth so that then you can take that freedom, once you move from this body. Right? So that's how it starts. So that's the upakrama. That's how the introduction is. And so the whole of this section talks about that whole idea of we are not the owners. We have just got the opportunity. And so one by one, it is going after that. Right? So then, then we did the Hamsa mantra, and I'll not go back to that. But this is the third one is our, the mantra that we chant, Urdhvam pranam unnayati, apanam pratyagasyati, madhye vamanam asinam vishve devaha upasate. In the adhyatma in our body, right? So the prana is supposed to pull us up, as in energize us, and the apana is the one that is resting, right? So these are the two opposite actions. The prana is energizing us. We stand up, we are energetic, we wake up and we go about doing things. It's all prana giving us that energy. But when that flow changes to apana, then we have to sleep or we have to rest. So that's the function between prana and apana. But then what it is saying, the Upanishad saying is no, it's not prana and apana. It is he that is pushing prana upwards and taking apana downwards, right? And therefore, and he sits in the heart directing all of these devatas. And Vishvedeva, all the devatas that are within our body, the eyes ruled by the sun, Manas ruled by the moon, Agni rules our speech. All of these devatas are doing their karma of, enabling my speech, enabling my sight, enabling my hearing. All of that they're doing as an offering to Paramatma. So he sits in the heart as Vamana, and they offer their karma that they're doing within the body as a seva. And that is the attitude they have. So again, it is not just me as a person that needs to be aware of that. We should also be aware that the devatas themselves, they know that they don't own it. So they are being given a job to do by Paramatma, and they're doing the job and offering it as as an offering to Paramatma. And we have discussed this before, but why do we offer karma? What is the reason we offer karma? It's not me, it's you. Why do we offer the karma? When we say all the devatas are offering karma, we have to offer our karma. Why do we do that? What is the reason for doing it? Anybody?
Is it a way to lose our ego that we are not doing the karma and instead he is doing,
exactly.
So we offer it to him?
Exactly. Because we are indeed not doing it in the sense that we have the illusion that we are doing it, but we are indeed not doing it. And that's the reason why we are saying that when I thought, if you really look at it, and we discussed it last time, our karma is, our thoughts, we don't control our thoughts in the sense that thoughts occur to us. You should understand the meaning of occurring, right? That means it comes to us. Thoughts come to us, means I did not create my thoughts. Yeah, I can say in 2 seconds I'll think of an elephant and create that, but that is very minuscule compared to the thoughts that come to us. So thoughts occur to us, and we act on that thought, right? Feelings happen to us, and then we feel the feeling that happens to us. We cannot will the feeling, right? I'm suffering now, suddenly let me become happy. It cannot happen. So the only thing that is in our that we can do is do, right? So we can do something, and I can say, I can raise my hand, I can do that, but then I cannot say I can, I can change my thoughts. I cannot sustain that, right? Because thoughts are continuously occurring to us. And remember, the gist of the Gayatri mantra, prachodana, that is basically it's saying that we don't think our thoughts occur to us. That's what prachodana means. Dhiyaha yaha prachodaya. That means thoughts occur to us. Let those good thoughts come to us, so that then when we act on it, we take ourselves in the right path. Right? So the only thing we actually control is what? I can do all this with my fingers. So that's the only thing. Action is what we control. Action is something that we can control. Right? Even within that, there's you can go much deeper to it, but at least to a large extent, we can act. We cannot think because thought occur to us. We cannot control the feel. When I say we cannot control feelings, we cannot control thoughts in a sustained manner. Thoughts in a sustained manner, but these all occur to us. What we can control is what we do and what we act on. Right? Thoughts can come to us, but then we can choose to whether act on it or not act on it. Right? So that when we say that we have a purushakara, we have a control, we have our effort. That effort is not in thoughts. The effort is in acting on those thoughts. It's a very, very fundamental idea. We have discussed this, in detail in the karma yoga in Gita, 3rd chapter. This is the gist of Hinduism. You don't see this in any other thought, any other philosophy across the world. Maybe Zen Buddhism and all of that, but again, it is all within from the Indian ethos that it has gone out. But Indian influence is where you see these kinds of things. That action is what we control, and we control that whether we act on something or not. That's what is in our major control, right? And so that is the reason why they always focus on this strength of yours, which is that whether you act on it or not. But with action, we can control feelings, we can control thoughts, right? We can act in certain way. When you're depressed, you can go out and walk, and then indirectly you're influencing that walk to change your feeling, right? So you cannot directly will from suffering to happiness, but you can will to act, and that action will create happiness or remove that depression, right? So it is action that is doing all of those things. It's not thoughts nor your feelings. Right? Is that clear? Right? So now that's what this mantra is saying. Urdhvam pranam unnayati. That means that it is not just that we do not own or create or act. It is even the devatas, they are not doing it. Prana is not giving us the energy. Paramatma is acting through prana to give us energy. So you have to go one step behind that to actually think about that. That's the sadhana part. Urdhvam pranam unnayati. Apanam prati agasyati. That means pratyagasyati means he's pushing apana down, pulling prana up, and prana pulls us up, but he pulls prana up, right? So it's taking us one step back to give us a bigger picture of even prana is not independent. He's dependent on Paramatma, but the devatas know this. We are unaware of it. That's the difference, right? Madhye vamanam asinam vishvedeha devaha upasate. Upasate means how do they worship? By offering their karma in him. That's how they worship, right? So that is how it is. And then we went through Asya Visamsamanasya, all of those things. We have gone through that. What remains when we have lost the physical body, when we have lost our subtle body, Stula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira, what remains is the question, and that is answered. And then here is again a very, very fantastic verse, which is again talking about we don't control, he controls. It says, Na pranena, na apanena, martyo jivati kaschana, itarena to jivanti, yasmin eta upashyata. We don't live because the heart is beating. We don't live because we are breathing. We don't live because all of the biological functions of this body are working. The brain is working. He says, no, prana is not making us alive. Apana is not making us alive through its activities. Jivati kaschana, he says, never, it never does prana make us alive or apana make us alive. Who does make itarena to jivanti yasminyata upashyata? In whom this prana and apana are sheltered, take refuge in, offer their karma to. He is the one that is making us live, not the prana or apana. Or in a more understandable terms, heart beating is not making us alive. The lungs functioning is not making us alive. The brain functions and nervous system, none of these are making us alive. Paramatma, God is making us alive. It can all be functional and we'll be dead, right? So that's what the whole, the death where the body functions are there, right? You're in coma and the bodies are kept alive, but you're basically not there, right? So that's what it is. The body may be alive, but you are dead without Paramatma, right? So that's what it is. So itarena tu jivanti yasmin neta upashyata. The real life is actually when Paramatma wills it, not when prana or apana is functioning. So that's very important. So what it is showing is what? That there is Paramatma. Under him there is all these devatas, and all of these devatas have functions. They have functions in 3 domains. They have functions in what is the first domain? Yeah.
In the external world.
Yeah. So there is. Let's start with inner world, right? So it is adhyatma. So in adhyatma, what? Our senses working, our heart beating, our all our body functions working. That is their activity, right? And then that means the devatas are doing that function. So that means Paramatma is there. Under Paramatma, there's all these devatas: Surya, Chandra, Indra. All of these, Indriya devatas, Tattvabhimani devatas, Buddhi, Ahankara. All of these devatas, they're all functioning and making the body function. But then the Upanishad says, but they are not making it function. Paramatma is acting through them to make the body function. Right? This mantra tells you this is how it works. So now, every mantra is establishing a tattva, right? How to understand this. What is this mantra? The 5th mantra is establishing. It is establishing that prana is what keeps us breathing, gives us energy, all the functions happening through prana. But then prana himself is what? Paramatma is working through prana to make him do this work, which he recognizes. Right? The same way apana is making us eliminate the waste, but apana himself, the Paramatma works through him to do that. And they realize that, and therefore they are offering all of their work to the real cause of all this, which is Madhye Vamanam Asinam Vishvedevaha Upasate. The Vamana that's sitting inside the heart. To him they are offering. So there's a connection to Jyotisha here. Okay. So Vamana is what in which Devata Gana does Vamana come in?
Aditya.
Aditya, right? So in Jyotisha, each of the grahas have a karakatva for the body. Surya or Aditya is karakatva. What is the karakatva as Aditya? Yeah. One is ice, so leave the ice, right? I is good. But what is the actual core karakatva of Surya is what?
Sustenance.
Sustenance is as a Rashi. Aditya Gana itself is a Rashi Abhiman is. So that is fine. But
health, Atma Tattva, health.
Atma Karaka. So he is that means, see, Manaskaraka is what? Chandra. Virya Karaka is Kuja. Right? Buddhi Karaka, Buddha. Sukha Karaka, Guru. Right? So, and then Pida Karaka, Shani. Atma Karaka, Surya. So if you go to the basics of Jyotisha, so each graha will have one, again, there are multiple karakatvas for the grahas, but the main karakatva of Surya is what? Atma, which means basically identity, ahankara, I-ness, everything comes from Surya Deva. That is one is and adhikara, right? All of these things comes from Surya Deva. Kirti, name, all of these things come from Surya Deva, right? So again, Madhye Vamanam Asinam is connected to Surya as the Atma Karaka, the Karaka of Atma, in the Jyotisha. So, but again, that is the Paramatma form of that is what? Vamana or Vishnu, right? In all of the Veda mantras, Vishnu means Vamana, because always in all of these, one of the lingas, that means one of the marks or characteristics of Vishnu in the Veda is what? Tripada. Right? It always it is praising that the in the Vamana Avatara, the Trivikrama Avatara, right? Trivikrama. So that is where with the 3 steps. That is what Vishnu is. That's Vishnu. Vishnu means Aditya. It's in the Aditya Gana, Aditi's last son, Vamana or Trivikrama, that is Vishnu. But also Paramatma, Vishnu Paramatma. But also basically Aditya. Right? So that means Madhya Atmakaraka, Surya Deva is there. And that is the Paramatma is the Atma, Antaratma. And then all the Devatas are doing their work, who is under him. And then they're offering their work to Paramatma, saying, we are not the doers, you are the doer. When we realize it, then actual realization happens to us. Right? Is this clear? This tattva needs to be very clear. Paramatma is there. Under him, all the devatas are there. They're all the tattva abhimani devatas, they're indriya abhimani devatas. All of these are there. Their work in the body, their work in nature, it's all reflecting each other, right? So they're all working in nature, causing, rain is coming, water, fire, and all of those outside. But inside, it's the speech and our sight and all of these, all the body functions, they're all there within us. So they're all controlled by a devata. They're all controlled by a function is controlled by a devata, and the devata himself is not controlling it. The devata the Paramatma is controlling all of those functions through the devata. It's the devata's job to do that. They are doing, each of them are doing a job, but they have realized that the job is all done through them. They don't have the ahankara of I am doing it. There are some stories where it shows that they get the ahankara, but quickly they realize that that was the asura avesha that caused it, and they realize again, right? So that is what it is. And then we went through all of that. What happens after death? The 5 different paths that the jiva goes through, right? What can anybody quickly summarize that? What are the 5 paths that jiva leaves the body? Yoni manye. So yoni manye, what are the paths?
So below our navel.
So let's start with this. Right? So there is the Pitruyana. Pitruyana and Devayana. Pitruyana these are the 2 paths that most of the Upanishad talks about, but they're all sadgati, right? They're all sadgati. Okay. So Pitruyana is what happens. The body, the jiva leaves the body and then goes to Urdhva Lokas, and then after the bhogas there, all the punya karmas they get a bhoga there. It's as if in a dream that we are getting a very beautiful dream That's how it's going to be, right? Because everything experienced through Sukshma Deha. And then once that is done, when there's karma lesha, we come down and bring our other prarabdha karma into a different life. So that's Pitruyana. Devayana is what? Devayana is when Jiva leaves from the Sahasrara Chakra and then goes to moksha directly. Right? There's no coming back after that. So that is a path of no return. So that's when everything is freed, right? When the Jiva goes, physical body is gone, and then at some point, the Sukshma Sharira is destroyed, Karana Sharira, Jnana, everything is destroyed. They're completely freed. That's the moksha. They actually go to Satya Loka, and then see, there is no moksha until Brahma becomes mukta. So they are in Satya Loka or in various Urdhva Lokas until Brahma himself becomes mukta. When Brahma leaves, see, without Brahma happening to Brahma is called as a Jiva Kala Abhimani Devata. Jiva Kala means when Brahma wakes up, like when the initial Srishti, the Maha Srishti happens initially, that Brahma himself is born, right? Tasmad Virala Jayata Virajo Adipurusha. Who is that Adipurusha? Hiranyagarbha, Brahma. So when Brahma wakes up, the jivas that were all sleeping in the Mahapralaya, they wake up. Right? They wake up. And then that means those that are ready for Srishti, there's an infinite number of jivas. So those that are ready for Srishti, they wake up. And then each of them get chance to be born. But Brahma has to wake up for the jiva to wake up. Because he is Jiva Kala Abhimani Devata. Right? So then when Brahma wakes up, then Jiva wakes up. And the same way, when Brahma becomes Mukta, then all of the Moksha, Yogya, Jivas, they become... Please mute. Yeah. Right? So that is very important to understand. So then they go to Urdhva Lokas and then they become Muktas. Then that is two paths. What is the other path? There is Sthanu Manye, right? Sthanu. Sthanu means what? Stha, that which is immobile. What is immobile?
Plants.
Plants, right? Not stone. Correct? Because stone is jada. There's no atma in a stone. There are schools that say jiva is everywhere, but that's not true. This Sthanu is the plant kingdom. So the plant kingdom, there's no Urdhva Gamana, there's no, coming down. It is just, it's going from one to another, right? So it's industry, and each of the plants have multiple jivas in it, right? So you can actually cut one twig and plant it, and it becomes another plant, right? So because there's not one jiva, there's multiple jivas, ashraya, taking refuge in the in a plant or a tree, and so that is Sthanuji. That is the Sthanuji. So in Sthanu, it is a kiryak. That means it goes from one. When one dies, it goes to the next one. There's no going up in the Devayana, Pitruyana, going down in the Adho Gamana. Right? So that's then the fourth path is where it goes down. It says Adho Gamana. And what does the down? That is, it is a path that shall not be named, is what the Upanishad and the Puranas talk about. They don't name. It's the Samyamani, they say in the sutras. That means they go to Yama's abode. Right? Remember, whenever they say Yama, that is what? Yama is what? Saumya Rupa?
Dharma.
Yama is Ugra Rupa.
Dharma is the Saumya Rupa.
Yeah. So the Sattvika Jivas are judged by Dharma. The Tamo Jivas are judged by Yama. So when they go to Samyamane, that means they're nightmarish kind of scenarios. And then if the karma is such that, once they suffer, they come back and are born in various insects and all of this, the worst yonis. And again, that's yoni, right? Yoni manya, sthanu manya. Yoni means animal, insects, all of those things. Sthanam is that which is fixed, which is plants, plant kingdom, and trees, plants, and all of that. And then finally, what is the fifth one? It's also Adhogamana, where you go down to Nitya Naraka. Tamisra, Andhadamisra. They name two of those. Where when you go down, just like the Mukta Jivis lose their Stula Sharira and the Sukshma Sharira and all of that, and then go to the Moksha, here the Tamo Jivi loses his Stula Sharira when he dies, right? And then Sukshma Sharira is also gone. And Andhakara, the Karana Sharira, the Ajnana is what remains, and that will be infinite. There's no eternal, it's eternally like that. So they're eternally going to be in the darkness of Ajnana, never to come back up. So these are the five states of in after death. Either you go to the Deva for liberation, to Pitruyana, through Pitruyana to some Swargaloka to come back. Tiryak Gamana within here as plant kingdom, going down, suffering to come up, and for the to be born in very bad yonis, and then finally going down to never come back. So these are the five different things that we discussed last time, right? So this is the eighth one. We are going to do the eighth one. Any questions until now? Any questions? Anything confusing? Okay. So now we'll go to eighth verse. Ya esha sukteshu jagarti kamam purusho. It's actually nirmamanaha. It's not nirmimanaha. Nirmamanaha tadeva shukram tad brahma tadeva amrutamuchyate tasmin lokaha shritaha sarve tadu na atyeti kashana etad dvaitad. Beautiful. I mean, all the verses that comes from now is all amazing. He says now, so again, to give us, see, it is giving us that this body is not yours. The function of the body is not keeping you alive. Paramatma is keeping you alive. The Devatas themselves know that. Next, he says that one more thing to realize that the Upanishad says is what? When we sleep, right? See, when we are awake, it is very, it's very obvious that we can get that illusion of I do, I know, I can, all of those things, right? Because we are awake, everything is happening so quickly, so that illusion is there. But then what happens when we sleep, right? Obviously, we are not doing or we are not willing anything in sleep, right? So then it's very obvious. Then what the Upanishad says is, Ya esha sukteshu jagarti. He who is awake in the sleeping, right? That means when we are sleeping, we are sleeping. That means we cannot do, we cannot think, we cannot desire, nothing is there. We cannot do anything because we are sleeping. But he is jagarti. He is awake. There's something awake, right? So he is the one who is awake. What is he doing? In the swapna avastha, kamam purusho nirmamanaha. He is, as he desires, he is creating objects, the dream objects in our dreams, right? So what the Upanishad is saying is, when we don't have any control, we know when we sleep we don't have any control, we cannot will, we cannot desire anything, but then we can 100% say dreams happen to us. Dream happened to us. So now we are not doing it, but dreams are happening to us. That happening is what Paramatma is doing it. Right? It is not some body function or brain function and all of those. Yeah, all of those things are there. But who is behind it as the cause, the first cause of it? Paramatma is the cause of it. He is the one who desires and creates the objects of the dream in our dreams for us to experience. Right? So now, in the Brahma Sutras, this one comes in the third Adhyaya of Brahma Sutra, the Sadhana Adhyaya. So, what is he creating? Are the dreams true or not? Real or not is the question. Right? Is dream an illusion or is dream real? Right? So then, it says kamam kamam nirmamana. Yeah, he is desiring whatever he desires, he creates and he shows to us. But what does he use? What does he use? What comes in our dreams?
I mean, whatever we went through.
Experience, right? So that means the sutra says he is using our vasanas, our experiences that we already have, that is there. He uses that and creates, drama within our in our sleep and shows us the dream. So the kamam kamam nirmamana, but it's how he's showing with the experience that we already have stored within us. He's using that to create the dreams for us. Kamam kamam nirmamana. Then it says, then the couple of points. Karthik is here, so we are very interesting. So, is dream real or not is one of the questions that the sutra takes up. It says dream is real, means what? Dream is real means it is of course it uses the experiences in a different combination that Paramatma is using to show us the dream. But then it says the first part of the dream, when we sleep, the first part of the dream is said to be due to what we eat or whatever we have, right? So that doesn't do anything. But then when everything digests and the body goes to much deeper sleep, and then when it comes back to the swapna avastha, then Paramatma is showing the dream as a suchana, it says. That's why, I don't know if it might be your parents, grandparents would have said, dreams that we get before we wake up or in the early mornings, they say that means something, right? Yes, the dreams that happen just right after we sleep, it's influenced by our food or whatever. We might be angry before we have slept, or we have seen something before we have slept. All of those things come, but they have nothing. They have no suchana capability. But the suchana capability comes when all those go away and we go to deeper sushupti, and then we go to deeper sleep and then come back to dreams, and there's a lot of these things, cycles happening. When that happens, it's basically cleansed, and then we come back up to again swapna. That swapna that comes is no longer influenced by our environment and what we ate and all of that. It is actually suchana. It comes from things that you might be, but again, it's all in symbolic language, right? You're going to be getting in symbolic language. And one of the examples, I think Chandogya Aitareya, it comes, right? When you do, a homa and a karya, like a kamya karma, if you see a beautiful woman in a dream in the later part of the dream, that means you have a siddhi. That boon is granted, it says. So it's a suchana, right? So that kind of thing. So dreams are real because it comes from real experiences within us. But mistaking a dream for external reality is what is the illusion. But dreams themselves are real. And then dreams also have a function of showing us what is happening or what is going to happen if we have the ability to read it, right? So again, you can dream reading and all of those things are all there. That is all there, and there's a lot of material on that. But what kind of dream is that? It is that dream that comes after a couple of deep sleeps, and then all of the external influences are gone. That's the pure dream state that comes, that where it's actually random dreams that are coming up. When we say random, it's Daiva, it is Paramatma that's acting, right? So when that comes up, he is creating a suchana. He's showing things to us which will have different meanings. All of those things are there, right? So that is what it is showing. Any question there? So there's a lot of these kinds of dream, Swapna Suchana that is there, that it talks about. Upanishad talks about those. Puranas talk about that. When you have done a kamya karma, the dream will tell you whether it is it's successful or not. In all of those things, or something is impending, something bad is going to happen, then it comes in the dream. So all of those things are there, right? So kamam purusho nirmamana. Who is doing that? It's not the brain functions. It's Paramatma that is doing it through the brain. See, always he uses things. He uses the devatas. Devatas use the brain. So all of these things are happening through him. He is the real doer. Everything else is dependent on him, right? So that is what it is. Once you understand that this is going to give you a picture, when we sleep, we don't control anything. It's very obvious, but still we are experiencing dreams, right? When we get good dreams, we enjoy. We get bad dreams, we suffer. All of these things are happening. We know we don't cause it. Who is causing it? Paramatma is causing it. So that's very obvious. He is the real doer. The Upanishad says, right? Tadeva Shukram. He is Shokarahitat Shukram. He is the one who has no suffering, right? Avakra Chetas and Shukra. Shukra means Shokarahita. Right? Tad Brahma. The one who is creating is not the Devata. It is not Prana, Apana, Vyana, or Chandra, or any of these. Indra Deva, Kama Deva, none of those guys. They're all Devatas. But who is Tat Brahma? It says. Brahma is the one that's doing this. Paramatma, Vamana is the one that's doing it. Tat Brahma. Parabrahma is doing that. Tadeva Amrutam Uchyate. He is the eternal Parabrahma that is doing. Right? Then it goes on to say, Tasmin Loka Shritaha. All of these words, and he who is creating dream in me, he is the one in the Adi Daiva. He is the one in all of these worlds, all of the universes are what? They are all sheltered in him. That means they're all functions, not only within us, outside us, the whole in the world macro. All of these, the sun, the planetary system, the galaxies, everything is what? Dependent on him. Tasmin loka hashritaha. Loka basically in Sanskrit means, in Hindi say log. Log means people, right? So here lokaha is not just galaxies, but also all beings. It's not just me. All beings, all the devatas, the asuras, every being, insects, they're all dependent on him. The devatas, everything, the lokas, everything they're all dependent on him. Shitaha, survey, without anything left out. Everything is dependent on him. Tadu na atyeti kaschana. Very, very important. Na atiyeti kaschana. Not even one of this devata goes beyond his direction. As in, Paramatma has given a job, they will do the job. Na atyeti. Two things is meant here. Atiyeti means what? They will never go out of the bounds of their job. One. That means if Agni has been given the job of burning, that is what he's going to do. He's not going to say, "Oh, no, I don't feel like burning. Let me stop burning." That's not. That's their job. They do their karma yoga is to do that. That's what they do, right? So na atyati, that means none of the devas magically will not. In the next kalpa, Indra will overthrow Paramatma and become the new Paramatma. There is no new Paramatma chair. It's not a chair. It's not a position. Paramatma is not a position. All the devatas are positions, right? Each Manvantara, there's a different devata that comes. There's a different Indra that comes. All of these, all the devatas are Brahma. When the Sisti, new Sisti comes, there's a new Brahma. There's a new Prana, right? All of these change, but Paramatma will not change. He is one. Prakriti will also not change. She is one, right? But none of the devatas will ever overtake and become Paramatma themselves or greater than Paramatma. Na atyeti will never happen. They will all, basically, he is the one independent. all of the people, all of the devatas, everything in the universe, everything in creation is completely dependent on him. That is what you need to have the understanding that way. Right? Beautiful it says. Tasmin lokaha shitaha. Everything, all the worlds, every being is sheltered in him. Right? Sarve tadunatyati kaschana. None of them, not one of them, will ever overthrow him or become greater than him. Never, never ever. So Paramatma is one. That is why sa eva adya sa ushvaha, it says, right? Ishanaha bhuta bhavyasya. That means he is the Lord of today. No, it's like a prime minister job, Oh, he's prime minister today is fine, but tomorrow there might be another prime minister. No. He is also today, he is also tomorrow. He was also past, right? Again, he is beyond time. So it's past, present, future is for us. But from our point of view, the Paramatma today is also Paramatma tomorrow. Is also Paramatma in the past. Eternally Paramatma. There's no change of position there. Okay? That's very important to understand. Good. Any questions here?
No. Can we avoid the sleep, the dreams?
It is echoing. Maybe you have multiple things on.
Can we avoid the dreams?
It's still echoing.
Sorry.
Can we avoid a dream?
Yes.
No. Yeah, dream. That if you can avoid a dream, that means you are doing it. Right? So that means what? When you sleep, nothing is in your control.
Correct.
Right? So you cannot avoid your dream.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah. So now this concept is what I was talking about. Mantra 9, 10, and 11 is very, very, very important, because now it is telling, okay, all of these are dependents and he is the one independent. But what is the relationship between the Jiva and Paramatma? Yeah, he is independent, we are dependent. But are we related to Paramatma? Are we connected to Paramatma in some way? And this is there in Sankhya Yoga on the Bhagavad Gita, but that comes from this. This is beautiful. So it says, and it is giving in terms of example. Agnir yathaiko bhuvanam pravishto rupam pratirupo babhuvaha. Ekastatha sarvabhutantaratma rupam pratirupo bahischa. So it says, take Agni, for example. Agni, it says, all the fires that we see in this world, right? All the fires that we see, we see there is, you have Gargapatyagni, cooking fire is there, candle fire is there, this all forest fire is there. Any fire that we light in the house, this all fire, right? Is that Agni?
No,
Is that Agni?
I don't think so.
It is Agni, but it is called Bhuta Agni. Bhuta Agni means it's a physical fire. That means it is a Jada Agni. Jada Agni. It's not alive. The fire that we light is not alive. It's Jada Agni. So it says, but there is Agni Devata. There is a Chetana Agni. When we say Agni, when we say Agnimi, Ile, Prohitam, who is that Agni? It is not the fire that we light. That's not that fire. Because Bhuta, when it is a Jada, can you pray to a Jada? Is it listening to you? Can it think? No. Right? So we always pray to Chetana. I said, right? We pray to Chetana. We never pray to Jada. Because it's obvious common sense, right? If you're talking to a stone, it's not going to hear it or reply back to you. So only fools will talk to the stone, right? So that means you are talking to what? You're talking to a Chetana. So this is saying there is Eka Agni. There is one Agni, that is Chetana Agni. Agni Devata, we call Devata. Okay. So the Srishti happens first. What? Chetana Agni Srishti happens first. When Agni is created, Chetana Agni is created. Then what? Then from the creation happens, right? Agni, Akasha, Vayu, Agni, all the tattvas are formed, and then they all form the physical fire. The lamps that we light, the fire, cooking fire, and all of those things. Acid is also fire. So all forms of fire is then it's there. It's all physical Bhuta Agni, all different. There's innumerable forms of Bhuta Agni, right? I can light a candle in my house. You can light a candle in your house, right? Are they the same fire? Are they the same fire?
Different.
What is that?
I think it's different.
I think the lights are all Bhutagnis, so it could be the same, only it's the Bhava.
It's not same. Bhutagnis are different.
Yeah.
Right? So I can light my lamp here, and you can light your lamp here. That there's a Jadagni in your house, there's a Jadagni in my house. Within my house, there might be a lamp here, and there might be a cooking fire there. It might be, something else there. So all of these are different Bhuta Agnis. But there is only one Chetana Agni. Right? And that's why it says Agnir Yatha Ekaha. There's only one Agni Chetana. Bhuvanam Pravishtaha. When the creation happens, he entered this world. The Agni entered this world. What did he do? Rupam Pratirupo Babhuva. That means he created multiple forms of his own Chetana Agni, and then all the Bhuta Agnis become his reflection. So that means the candle fire that I light is a physical fire, but there is a Chetana Agni that is behind that. That means it is like Rupam Pratirupa means what? Rupa and Pratirupa. What does Rupa and Pratirupa mean? What does Rupa and Pratirupa mean?
Reflection.
You have to turn on one, it echoes.
Is it reflection?
So Rupa means the original form. Pratirupa is the reflected form. So when you stand in front of the mirror, you are the Rupa. Your picture in the your image on the glass, on the mirror, that is a Pratirupa. So what it is saying, now is there a link between Rupa and Pratirupa?
Yes.
There is a link, right? 100%. What is the link? Two most important things. This is very important to understand. See, it's all talking about God is in control. We are not in control. Devatas are also not in control, even though they are controlling our body. Paramatma is working through them within us. But then there is a link between the Chetana and the Bhuta. What is that? You need two things are very important here. Just think common sense. Don't think of philosophy and all. You are standing in front of a mirror. There is a connection between you and the image in the mirror. What is the connection?
Is it the self?
What do you mean by it's the self? That means it is in the image of you. It looks
Yes.
like you, right? So that there's a connection there. Then what else is the connection? So when you stand in front of it silently, does it walk around?
It reflects what?
That means when you act, it reflects that action, right? So when I raise my hand, my image will raise the hand. Okay, what is it? Something in the chat.
It
It only exists when I exist. Yeah, right? When I raise the hand, it raises the hand, right? So that means I cause the action. The reflection is also moving. When I move, the reflection moves. When I stand still, reflection stands still. Now look at where this is going. That means the real cause is like an image. The pratibimba is reflecting the action of the bimba. Understand, right? So that means when I raise my hand in front of a mirror, the reflected image raises the hand. Can we say that the reflected image is doing karma? Can we say that?
No.
So that means it is doing karma, in a sense, but it is not doing independent karma. It is doing dependent karma, right? So two things are there. One is called as sadrishya. There is a similarity between the image and the reflection, right? There's a similarity. And then what else? There is the dependence of action and its the action, right? So the action and its reflection. So there are two things. Is this clear?
Yes.
Yeah. So then he's saying, Agnir yatha ekaha bhuvanam pravishtaha rupam rupam pratirupo babhuva. So Agni becomes the image for the reflections that are bhutagnis. That means if the Chetanagni doesn't burn, bhutagni will never be able to burn. So the properties of bhutagnis are a reflection of the properties of the Chetanagni. Understood? It is also in the image of Chetanagni. Whatever the Chetanagni is, the bhutagni looks like that. In a kinchit sadrishyam. Is this understandable? So the Agni burns. See, the physical fire has a property of burning, but the property it's saying is derived from the image. It's derived from the Chetana. It's not independently within the fire, right? It's not like physics saying, oh, fire is this. No. It is not. The property of fire is not in fire. The property of fire is actually in the Chetana Devata. It is reflecting his potential that or his property. That is what it is. Okay, so these two things are there. One is sadrishya and one is the dependence on karma. Okay, we can say paratantratva. So that means dependence. So one is dependence for activity, and then one is identical. These are the two things. So then look at this example, right? So the Upanishad takes this example and then says, okay, similarly, ekah tatha sarva bhutanta antaratma. The Paramatma that is sitting in all of the bhuta, that is all of the living beings everywhere, within their jiva atma, Paramatma is sitting. Just like fire, he creates many, many forms of himself, and each form is a reflection. We are the reflection of that form. Now you know that if the link between Jiva and Paramatma, Kinchit Sadrishya, that means we are similar in some properties like Paramatma. Paramatma is infinite Chetana, we are finite Chetana. Paramatma is infinite Ananda, we are finite Ananda. Paramatma is when he is always free, we can become free when we get moksha. So Sat Chit Ananda Atma. So these are the four properties the Brahma Sutras talk about. These are common between Paramatma and Jivatma, but common in the sense that for him it is infinite, for us it is limited. Just like the image or our image in the mirror is identical to our image, us, the original. Right? The same way, we are a reflection of Paramatma. Reflection is in terms of the connection. Not really, we are not really reflections. It means how is Jiva connected to Paramatma? Jiva is kinchit sadasha, a little similar to Paramatma. in terms of the Chetana Swabhava, Ananda Swabhava, and all of that. But also, then what? And then the karma. He does the karma, we do the karma. He does it, we do it. He's the primary doer, we are secondary, dependent doer. Right? He's independent, we are dependent. That's the connection between. So that means Rupam Pratirupo Bahischa. So it says Bahischa, it says. Bahi means outside, it says. That means it's not like we are, there is Amsha, there's a school, Amsha, right? We are Paramatma Amsha, they say. Oh, we are part of, no, it's a Bahischa, that means different. The image is identical, but outside or different. So there's no connection in terms of we are not part of Paramatma. We are related to Paramatma, but not part of Paramatma. Right? Bahischa means outside. He lays outside us. That is, there's nothing. It's not like 1/5 of Paramatma became Jivatma, nothing like that. That's not how it is. It is the Amsha here is actually reflection, right? An image is also an Amsha. So image is also an Amsha, right? So what is it? So now we'll come to the very core of the philosophy of Vedanta. What is it? What is the relationship between Jiva and Paramatma, Sadrishya and Paratritya? That means we have identical essence, little identical essence as Paramatma in terms of Chetana Guna, Ananda Guna, and Datta kind of given Swatantra. Like we can also be free from samsara. And then what? Our actions are derived from Paramatma. Everything is derived from Paramatma. Just like an image is basically completely and utterly dependent on the original. He is the original, we are the reflection, the Upanishad saying. And that is the relationship between Jiva and Paramatma. This is very, very core of Vedanta. And in Jyotishya, it also talks about this. So there are see, when we are born, there are a lot of devatas that get kind of assigned for our welfare, right? There is, of course, Kula Devata. Kula Devata is the family which we are born in, and the Kula Devata blesses the family, right? So that means the lineage will continue, the kids will prosper and grow, and the family will thrive. Prosperity of the family, the job of prosperity of the family is Kula Devata. But our job is to offer to the Kula Devata. When that Kula Devata is forgotten, then we'll have a lot of family problems and kid problems and all of those things. They are all a reflection of Kula Devata not being, worshipped properly. A lot of people have completely forgotten who their Kula Devata is. So very, very important to understand that Kula Devata, right? So our welfare. So there is another Devata that gives us liberation. He's called Ishta or Bimba. And that is what this Rupa is. Right? So eventually when we do a lot of our sadhana, finally what happens? We realize this form which is uniquely, so form that is Bimba for me is uniquely my form. A form that is Bimba for Deena or Karthik is going to be uniquely for you. It is your personal connection to that Paramatma form. Right? So that realization will happen when the sadhana deepens, and then when all of the cleansing happens, that will become very clear that that we will start seeing a glimpse of that form through who is influencing us, who is within us. That Antaratma, that is the Bimba. Right? So that realization is basically what moksha is going to be, right? Moksha michet janardanath. That form is. That form is. It is only for you. No, I don't share. You don't share. No, there's no sharing. That's why I said rupam pratirupa babuva. Rupam pratirupa bahischa. That means as the number of infinite number of jivas, so is the infinite number of the forms of Paramatma that controls each of the jiva. There's a connection with each of the jiva, right? So there's a unique Paramatma form for you. You just have to find it out through sadhana. Without finding out, there is no moksha, right? So that is what is called ishta, or that's what is called bimba, bimba form. So you have to find the bimba, and that happens when all the karma is cleansed and everything. In deepest meditation, that becomes very obvious. Who is the bimba? And then when the bimba upasana happens, that is where the sadhana for moksha starts. Right? Very, very important core idea of the Vedanta philosophy is embedded here. Now the question is, what happens? There is satvika jivas, there is rajasa jivas, there is tamasa jivas. There are jivas that go in devayana and they become liberated. There are jivas that go to Andhra Misra, never to come back up. Is there a Paramatma form even for them? Yes. For every jiva, Paramatma bimba form is there. There's no exceptions. Every jiva, Paramatma bimba form is there. But the problem is, the sattvika jivas realize it, and then that bimba form blesses them with moksha. Rajasas and tamasas will never get a glimpse of that. So they are ever going to be, without that knowledge, ever. That is the difference. So just because there is a bimba doesn't mean everybody is going to be able to see that. Or when I say see, it's see through the mind's eye, right? The Atma Sakshatkara. The Atma Sakshatkara doesn't happen in every case. It happens only to the Sattvika Jivas. Tamasas will never, because the Ajnana is always there, Tamasas will never be able to see that. Right? It's like if you go back to Gita, the 3rd chapter, it says just like the fetus is covered by the womb, and you'll not be able to see it at all. Same way, there's no glimpse of Paramatma to Tamasa Jivas. Right? So that is made clear again by repetition here. It says, Vayur yatha ekaha bhuvanam pravishtaha rupam rupam pratirupo babhuva ekastatha sarva bhutantaratma rupam pratirupo bahischa. Now it's giving the example of why. Now, Katrina came, Rita came, what was the recent one? And then the wind is blowing, this morning wind blew. All of these things are happening, right? We are breathing. There's different forms of air and wind and all of those things. Are they all Vayu? No, they're not Vayu. They are Bhuta Vayu. They are physical air. That's not a Chetana, right? So then, what is it a reflection of? It is a reflection of Chetana Vayu. So Vayu, Chetana Vayu is the one who is like the Atma of these all physical bodies called air, right? Whether it's Katrina or Rita or whatever it is, it's one of the rupas of that Vayu, right? That Vayu came into creation and created many forms of himself, and each of that form, there is a form for Katrina, there is a form for Rita, there is a form for whatever windy it was yesterday. So all of these things are the wind forms that he takes, and then the physical reflects the Chetana. Right? That is, there is a relationship, just like there is an image and the original and its reflected image. Just like that, the physical air is also going to reflect the different forms of Vayu Devata. That is the reflection for these Vayu Rupas. Right? So there is physical fire. So always remember, when we say Nadi, when we say Vayu, when we say Agni, we are not referring to physical fire or physical air or physical water of the river. We are referring to the Devata whose image they are reflecting on. They are reflecting. Right? So you can think of like there is a jiva within this body, and this jiva is controlling the thinking and acting of this body, physical body. The same way, Vayu is there, and like just like this body, the physical fire is controlled by Agni, just like this body is controlled by the jiva who is within me. The same way, Agni is controlling, Agni Deva is controlling the Agni, Bhuta Agnis are like his bodies. Right? But that kind of an abhimana, he doesn't suffer because of the fire, or that kind of abhimana linkage is not there. But in terms of activity and the property reflection, that is there. It reflects the Devatas. Vayu reflects the Devatas. And here the difference is what? The difference means, even though it is a reflection, see again it talks about Agni, Vayu, Aditya. Three things. What did I say about that? Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Swaha. Right? Bhuloka, Agni. Agni is in the Bhuloka. Vayu is in the Bhuraloka or Antariksha Loka. Aditya is in the Swargaloka. That is basically what these things are. So it is talking about this, right? So it's talking about what in Agni there's a reflection. All the Agnis in the Bhuloka are reflection of the Devata Agni. All the Vayus that are coming from Antariksha Lokas, they are reflection of Chetana Vayu. And the same way, it says Ekas Tatha Sarva Bhutantaratma. Just like that, the Paramatma is that one who makes infinite forms of himself, connecting each of that form to one of the jivas. And he always remains outside. Right? That means that is so there is a link between jiva and Paramatma, and that is of Sadrishya and Paratantya. We are always dependent on Paramatma for our being, becoming, and also we share slight similarity with Paramatma in terms of Chetana, Ananda, all of those things, all these characteristics. That is like, we are like his Pratibimba. So we are in God's image kind of thing, right? So, Sarva Bhutantaratma, Rupam, Pratirupa, Bahischa. Okay, any questions so far?
Sunil, Raghu here. Just two questions, just clarifications.
Yes.
So earlier you said that the common properties of the Paramatma and Jivatma, Sat, Chit, Ananda.
Yes.
Is it 3 properties or 4 properties?
No. So Sat, Chit, Ananda, Atma is 4 properties. Right. So that is so that in for sadhana, that is the 4 required according to Brahma Sutra. So here Sat is not existence. In Krishna defines in Gita Sadbhave, Sadhubhave cha. Sadhubhava means goodness, Satvikatva. Okay? So Paramatma is Paramasatvika. We are his reflected Sattvika. Chetana is Paramachetana. It comes in the next mantras. Paramachetana, we are reflected Chetana. That means his knowledge is omniscient. We have limited understanding. His infinite bliss. We have our own limited bliss.
Does it that Ekas Tatha means it is both Bimba and Pratibimba are same?
The Antaratma is Ekaha. Just like one Agni creates different forms of his, and then each of the Bhuta Agni is a reflection of that Agni. That Agni is one, but the Bhuta Agnis are many. The reflections are many, right? Same way, Paramatma is one. All the Jivatmas that are reflected, there are many.
Great. The third question is about the Ishta Devata. You said that.
No, but you don't seem convinced. So I want to make sure you are clear. See, Paramatma is one, right? He creates many forms of it. Let's say just for example, one Paramatma creates 10 Dashavatara forms.
Mm-mm.
Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, all the 10 forms. Is it 1 or 10?
It is one.
Right? So even though it is 10 in number, it is
Mm-mm.
still one Paramatma. Right? So now let us say there is a Jiva which is a Pratibimba for Matsya. Like when he goes to the final, everything is all cleansed, he sees that Matsya is his Bimba Rupa.
Mm-mm.
Right? So there might be another Jiva, when he is cleansed, Kurma is his Bimba Rupa. Right? There
Yeah.
might be another Jiva in his, when he is cleansed, Narasimha might be his Bimba Rupa.
So the
Right?
the Bimba Rupa is not equivalent to the Bimba. So that is a
It's
message
not
we
equivalent
get.
to the.
Not equivalent to the Bimba, even though it
What do
is
you mean by it's not equivalent to the Bimba?
like it's going to the Advaita philosophy. Okay, the Jivatma and Paramatma are same. So here it is not so. It is clearly giving a distinction of a Bimba and
It is saying
Pratibimba.
it is Rupam Pratirupa Bahischa. Bahi means what? Outside. Not the same.
Hmm.
Paramatma, and you'll see that later on, it is very clear. So Katopanishad is very, very clear. Very clear. Paramatma is one, he's infinite. Each of the Jiva is a reflection of one form of Paramatma. Again, reflection means connection. Don't think of reflection as reflection. Reflection is a metaphor used to show that the connection between Jiva and Paramatma is of Sadrishya and Paratantrya. One is dependent on another, one is a little identical to the other. That is what an image is. It's a metaphorical description.
Metaphorical. It is not exactly that the Pratibimba is has all the qualities of the Bimba. It doesn't
No,
mean so.
that's what I'm saying. No. Pratibimba cannot have all the properties. Again, it is made clear later on. So the Upanishad itself will clarify. But yes, yeah. So, but what we have to understand here is what is the relationship between Jivatma and Paramatma? It is the source and its reflection. But the source will ever be different by his cha. That means always different. It's always different. But
So
the connection is eternal.
the dependency is established between the
And the
source.
dependency is eternal. That means whether we are in samsara or in moksha, that is, in moksha, this dependency becomes clear. Atma Sakshi always knows this. We are always meditating on Paramatma in moksha. So that is our relationship. I and my God. That is that form of God. Right? So that becomes, but now it's not obvious, right? We are going to pray for so many different things. But then finally, when things get clarified, then we go to our Bimba form. That is what the progression and growth should be.
Then can we think that the reflections are not avatars but amshas?
What is not avatars?
No.
But jivas are no. Jivas are not avatars.
No.
See, avatars are not amsha. See, avatara is Purna itself, right?
Okay.
There is no difference between Vishnu and Matsya. There is no difference between Vishnu and Narasimha. There is no difference between Vishnu and Rama. So they're all the same. Why? Because Purnamada Purnamidam. Purnat Purnamadachyate. That means infinite is always infinite. There is no finite of an infinity.
No, Paramatma is in every reflections you say, no? So that we think as the Amsha is, Paramatma's Amsha is in every reflections?
No. Paramatma's Amsha or Paramatma's Rupa.
Okay.
Paramatma, one of the Paramatma Rupas is my Bimba, your Bimba. Like for example, think of Vishnu Sahasranama. Vishvam, the first one, is the Bimba for Ganesha. That is why Vishnu Sahasranama starts with Ganesha Rupa. The elephant-headed form of Vishnu is Vishwa.
Okay.
So for Ganesha, what is Ganesha's Bimbarupi? Vishwa.
Vishwa.
Right? So then, no, Vishnu is a Bimbarupi for somebody else. Like Indra's Bimbarupa is Vishnu.
Mm.
Ashakkara would be a Bimbarupa for some other Devata.
Mhm.
Right? So that means the Vishnu Sahasranama, the 1,000 forms of Vishnu in Vishnu Sahasranama, they're all infinite, but they're all different forms. 1,000 forms.
Okay.
So like that. The forms of Vishnu have no distinction. They are still one.
Mhm.
But each one is a source of a unique jiva. That is what is our Ishta or Bimbarupa.
Then what are
So
all
that
the
means,
ways to identify which form of God is in ourselves?
that is sadhana. That is not, that you have to find out. Jyotishya will help, but finally it will occur to you when sadhana is actually progressing. And if we turn out to be Satvika Jivas, and there is some light at the end of tunnel, then that will become clear as we progress.
What are all the sadhanas we need to do?
That is, that's it'll talk about sadhanas and all of that.
Okay.
But this is what is the attitude, what is the knowledge we need to have. That's what the Upanishad is talking about.
Okay. Thank you.
So this is the Bimba.
Mhm.
So what is the job of Bimba for us? To give us liberation. He is there ready to give liberation.
Mhm.
We have to clear all the karmas to see him. For every jiva, there is the source.
Mhm.
He is there. But
So we need to clear all our bad karmas to
the bad,
find out
it is like it's like we have turned off the light. He's standing outside the door. We have turned off the light and we are in the darkness and we are running around in darkness. Turn the light on. You'll see the door. Open the door. He's outside. As simple as that to describe sadhana.
It is what Linga Rupa.
It's what?
So we need to remove the Linga Rupa to see Paramatma.
Karana Sharira. Linga Sharira. No, Linga Sharira will not go away. Ajnana has to go.
Okay.
Linga Sharira or Karana Sharira goes away after death. When you are ready for liberation, that's what happens.
Okay.
See, throughout the length, so many people we see. I don't see anybody going through the light at the end of the channel.
That, see that the thing for us is, we should just think of ourselves. Whether it happened to others or happening to others, that doesn't really matter.
No,
What should I do for that to happen to us?
When you see something happening.
What is that?
The belief will come when you see something happening.
I didn't get it. What was that?
The belief that if you go through this is what we will see our Ishtadevya. That will occur to us once we know that happened to X person or Y person.
No, because the Upanishad is saying it will happen to, and it has happened to. No? There are many moksha jivis that have gone before us. There will be many moksha jivis that come after us. So, but the thing is, for us to clear the darkness, to see the Bimbarupa, that is the source for us, and that is the Ishta, that is the Bimbarupa, right? So that is one of the devatas that is eternally there for us. So Kula Devata might change, right? So we know Grama Devata is there. Grama Devata is the place of the deity of the place, the protector of the place, right? So that is also there. And Kantara has made it very famous now. So Bhutaganas of Shiva Ganas own these coastal regions in Karnataka and all. They are the Grama Devata, right? So that is Grama Devata is one related to the place. So again, that he's a protector of the place, but we need to offer, right? The whole point is offer. Kuladevata, offer. Grama Devata, offer. There's usually Grama Devata, there's one annual, one big ceremony is there, for Grama Devatas. So that, those kinds of things, right? And then There is also a Guru Devata. That means that is a Shiva form. See, Jnanam Ichet Maheshwarat. Knowledge, we have to desire knowledge from Shiva. He's Ahankara Abhimani Devata, right? So, as long as he gives us Ahankara, he shuts us out of knowledge. He is the one who has to take out the Ahankara and show the path to the knowledge, right? So, there's a form of Shiva which is uniquely for us. It is known through your chart that we have to worship and ask in the worship to bless us with a clarity and a path, the right path, right? The same way, there's a Devata that is a protector for us. So we worship and offer to that Devata to keep us safe. There's a Devata to give us prosperity, and right, Palana, Devi Rup. So this is one of the Parvati Rupas that is responsible. It acts like an Annapurneshwari. So she is the one that gives us flourish, right? So it's to keep the food going, keep us nurtured, nourished, keep happiness in the house. So there are these different devatas that when we are born, these different devatas are there within us. One is always eternal, right? That connection with Bimba is eternal. But other than that, these things are changing. And then these things are depending on where we are born, when we are born. And these devatas are different. But these devatas are there. The more we worship these devatas, and so you need to know the right address to go and ask, right? Yeah, if you want to meet the Prime Minister, you have to go to the right path, the right channel, right? So these are all the right channels to get knowledge. Shiva is the channel to get the palana in your family, prosperity. Parvati is one of the Parvati's form is there. All of these things, Grama Devata, Kula Devata, all of these are these devatas, these deities that are there. That Kula Devata should be the easiest because what is the Kula Devata or Devi that your family has been worshipping for generations. That worship should never stop. Once it stops, the family will either bicker, and then there'll be a lot of problems, kids, all of those things. So that it's always good to worship the Kula Devata. Right? So very, very important. Any question? Okay. Now, 11th mantra. Suryaha yatha sarvalokasya chakshuhu na lipyate chakshushair bhaksya doshaihi ekastatha sarvabhutantaratma na lipyate loka dukkhena bhakshyaha. So now again, so I like Agni, Vayu, Surya, right? These are all the three that it uses as a metaphor. It's basically Bhur Bhuva Swaha. So Surya, just like the sun, is like Sarva Lokasya Chakshuhu. So the physical sun, again, just like there's a physical Bhuta Vayu, there's Bhuta Agni, and there is Agni Devata, Vayu Devata. The same way there's Bhuta Surya. Who's Bhuta Surya? Who's the Bhuta Surya?
Planet Sun.
Yeah,
Right.
the star, right? The sun, the star sun, that is a Bhuta Surya. So that doesn't have any, anything. It's a fire, right? It's a fire, burning fire. That's Bhuta Surya. But Bhuta Surya's Devata, just like Agni is the Devata for Bhuta Agnis, Surya is the Devata of Bhuta Surya, Surya Mandala. Right? So what it says, and the same Surya is the Abhimani Devata of what? Our eyes. Right? So it says that Surya is Sarva Lokasya Chakshuhu. Right? So he is the eyes of the whole world, in the sense that in all of us see because of Surya Deva. There's one Surya Deva, and his different forms become Abhimani Devatas for each of us. So my sight is controlled by the Surya form within me. Your sight is controlled by the Surya form within you. So all of the different beings that are born, they're all controlled by one of the Surya Rupas of the Surya Deva, who is the Abhimani of Surya Mandala. Right? So that means the one that rules the Surya Mandala, the Bhuta Surya, is also the same Abhimani of sight for each one of us. But he has made multiple forms of himself, and each of those forms comes within us to give us the power of sight. Right? But then it says, Nalipyate chakshushair bhashya doshaihi. What one point, new point it brings here. It says, just like the Surya Deva gives us the power of sight, but he is unblemished by the defects of the eyes. Whatever eyes defect we have, that is not Surya's defect. That is the defect of the physical eyes, not Surya's defect. Right? Whatever defective the physical eyes are, the Surya Devata is perfect. His job is not blemished by external blemish of the eyes. It says, the same way, Ekastata sarvabhutantaratma na lipyate loka dukkhena bhashyaha. The same way, I said, my Bimba Rupi is Paramatma, I am suffering. Is that a reflection of his suffering? What do you say? When we are reflecting him means what? When I suffer, that means he is suffering. Is
So
that
the Bimba has any defect that reflects in Pratibimba?
That means that I suffer.
But he doesn't.
It cannot be a corollary, will be true. Bimba reflects Pratibimba, but Pratibimba doesn't reflect the Bimba. The corollary doesn't
Pratibimba reflects the Bimba. See, Bimba means source.
Yeah.
Bimba doesn't reflect Pratibimba. Right? But that means that you are saying that the mirror image is reflecting. If the mirror image is reflecting me, I'm not reflecting the mirror image. Right?
Correct.
I'm the source. I'm the independent doer. It is a reflected doing. So what the Upanishad is saying what? Dukkha. I have dukkha. There is no question about that. I have dukkha. So does my Bimba have a dukkha? There is a concept here.
Oh, that's a beautiful.
Does Bimba have a dukkha?
No.
Should not. I mean, that's your right away. You should say no, never.
Mirror doesn't
Right?
have dukkha. Mirror doesn't have.
So it says, see, ekastata sarvabhutantaratma. That our antaratma of all of this is just one. It might be different forms, but they're all one. Paramatma. Nalipyate loka dukkhena bhashyaha. Loka dukkha is always outside. They will not even touch him. Loka dukkha will not touch him. Sufferings will not touch him. We suffer. He does not suffer. Then what does it mean? That means what? It means one important thing. So you might have asked this question. Okay, he does, I do. Then why am I being suffering for the karma? He is doing the karma. Why am I suffering? The image is doing this, and the reflection is also doing this. What is the crime of the reflection? Because image is doing this, reflection is doing this. There is no crime. Where is the karma? Prarabdha karma, where does that come then?
It is a baggage that we created from.
No. See, the thing is, he is doing this because your karma needs that.
Oh, okay, got it.
So he is not simply doing something. He is doing actions according to our avidya. we act.
Beautiful.
Right? So it is not like he is acting, we are reflecting, but he is acting in accordance to our prakriti. Right? So that means we are suffering because it is our prakriti to suffer.
Yeah.
He is acting to give us that suffering because we have the karma to suffer.
Yeah.
Right? So if this is not clear, let's say your karma is to suffer a slap. The image is doing like this. The pratibimba is also doing this. But the pratibimba gets hurt. The bimba is not hurt. But whose karma was that to get slapped? The pratibimba, the reflection, the jiva's karma was to get slapped. The Paramatma showed that it is going to be slapped. Paramatma, nothing is happening to Paramatma. He is always infinite bliss. But he is doing karma in accordance to our karma. He is not simply doing independently. He is doing according to, oh, you deserve to be slapped. Okay, let me do this. Like in metaphorically. So he is doing, oh, this guy needs to be slapped. Okay. And then we get slapped and suffer.
So that is why at times in dreams we kind of get, like dog biting, snake biting. All these are Paramatma's way of taking out your papa karma.
That's why what?
When you see something biting or, something in the dream, which you feel that it's awkward in the dream, but the thing is that is a way that the karma being taken.
The karma has to come out. See, there is a beautiful saying in Viduraniti. We'll see that later on. Nadeva dandamagaya rakshati pashupalavat yam hi rakshitumichati sadbuddhya yojayati tam. And also the viparita is also true. That means what? See, the God does not protect us just like a shepherd protects his sheep. That, the sheep are simply there passively, and then with a stick, when wolf comes, he's beating it away. Right? The God does not protect us like that. How does he protect us? Yami rakshitamichati, he who deserves to be protected, which means what? Who has the karma to be protected, sadbuddhya yojayati tam. See, in our mind, prachodana happens. The right thoughts come to us. Dhiyayana prachodayat. Right thoughts come to us. Suddenly, why I should do this. I meet the right kind of people. I think the right kind of thoughts. Right kind of things happen to us. That's how we are protected. We are protected by giving us the thoughts to get into that protection mode. He gives us the prachodana, the thoughts, the relationships and all of those things to protect us. It says he doesn't protect us with a stick like a shepherd protects the sheep. He protects us by giving us the prachodana for protection. Right? The same way here, he is giving us the karma that we deserve. Right? So evil person, he gives him, the evil person, the karma to do evil and suffer. That's the karma that he gives him. Why? Because of the evil karma which is within him. A sattvika, he'll get a sattvika karma. Right? He'll give him the sattvika karma so that he goes in the right path. Right? So, the same way, you need to understand that because there is a relationship between Jiva and Paramatma, Jiva suffering is only Jiva suffering. It has nothing to do with Paramatma. So, just like the sun is not affected by the blemish of the eye, the same way our Antaratma is unaffected by our suffering. Right? So, Ekas Tata Sarvabhuta Antaratma. So, Sarvabhuta, not just me. In all of the beings that Paramatma is there, within them, none of the suffering of that being affects Paramatma who's sitting in them. He is always Bhashya. Right? Na lipyate loka dukkhena bhashyaha. So the outside blemish, the outside suffering will never ever touch him. Got it?
Earlier we have said that the Paramatma residing in us. He's
No,
also
it's echoing. You have to stop one of the. I think you have multiple things open. Yeah, what was the question? You have a question? Yeah. Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, please. Yes.
So, if the karma is the destiny of the jiva, and that's what the Bimba is giving you, then
Yes.
at some point, the Pratibimba should have been independent to do something that brought about that karma. How does that work? I mean,
very good question. Very good question. See, if you go back to the Sankhya Yoga of the Gita, Jiva is eternal. Paramatma is also eternal. So what it says is each of the Jiva has a baggage of ajnana that we all eternally have. There is no, when it was given to us at starting point. This is like timeless, eternal. So jiva is always with a baggage of ajnana. But that ajnana that jiva has get expressed when jiva gets a body. When we get a body, that becomes our ajnana. Right? And that becomes our karma. Right? And that's why it's very unique. Otherwise, it's going to be like, it's infinite regress, right? Okay, this karma depends on previous karma. So previous karma depends on the previous karma. So there's no never ending, right? So, but that's the truth. There's never ending because the karma has always been there, eternally. See, the jiva was never created. The Chetana Jiva was never created, right? He's called Aja in Sankhya Yoga. Aja means by Swarupa, Jiva is not created. So the same way, Ajnana is not created. He is uncreated, eternal. Ajnana is always there with Jiva. But he's created only in the sense of getting a body. We get a birth. That's the only physical birth we have is through the body. And then whatever we have, that ajnana gets expressed and we get a chance to get rid of that.
So the jiva manifests with the ajnana. They
Correct.
both come at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah. Whatever we bring is whatever has always been attached to us.
Okay.
Yeah. So there is no beginning to it. That's why it's beginningless jiva, because jiva is uncreated. So, and that is the problem with, say, any religion that says that God created soul, for example, will have a problem of, okay, then, if God created the soul and the soul is imperfect, whose fault is it? Is it God's fault or the soul's fault? Because God created the soul imperfect, and so the soul is behaving like what it is created. So that is the reason why in Vedanta, Jiva is uncreated. Jiva is eternal in Swarupa. When we say Jiva is born, the Jiva is born in the sense of getting a body. And Jiva doesn't die also. And in the sense, when we say Jiva dies, it is losing the body. But not in terms of its essence. Its essence is eternal. It will always be there. Okay. So now, all of this is leading to the next two verses should become, you should kind of frame it in your office and keep it. Because this is big. This is a big statement he's saying. What is the Upanishad saying? What is Yama saying here? Eko Vashi. What is all this establishing? Eko Vashi, Sarvabhutantaratma, Ekam rupam bahudha yah karoti tam atmastham ye anupashyanti dhiraha tesham sukham shashvatam na itaresham. What is saying? Eko vashi. Vasha. The control is only with one. Vasha means control. To control. What? We don't control. The devatas don't control. Nobody controls. Eko vashi. The control is with one person. There is only one person that controls, that's Paramatma. Sarva Bhutantaratma is sitting within each one of us. Sarva Bhuta Antar Atma is sitting with each one of us. Ekam Rupam Bahudha Yakkaroti. One form at creation time. He creates multiple, innumerable forms of those forms and gets into and becomes the Bimba Rupa for all of the things that the creation happens. Right? There's a form, just like there's an app for that. Right? It's like there's a form for that. Agni, there's a form for that. That's real Agni. Now you know. See, I want to connect this back to why there is Agni is the name of the Deva. Okay, this is again one important concept. Before I need to tell this, and then we'll go to this. When we say Agni, there is Bhutagni. Physical fire is also Agni, because in Samskrita, in Sanskrit, when we say Agni, physical fire is also Agni. Agni Chetana, the Agni Deva is also Agni. Paramatma is also Agni. Right? Now you know, Chetana, Jiva Agni, Devata, Agni Devata, is a reflection of Agni form of Paramatma. So we say all the names are his names. Why? Because my name is his name first, then my name. Now you know why, Sabrahma, Sashiva, Sahari, Sendra, Paramaswarat. Why? That means he has all of these names. Right? So that means he is a Bimba for each of them. Therefore, their name is not their name. Their name is primarily his name. In the fullest sense. Indra means, the power, the Sarva Samartha, right? He who is omnipotent, potent. Indra means a king, is a potent. But he is not omnipotent. So who is the real Indra? Paramatma is the real Indra. His Bimba, then his reflection is Indra Deva. He is the next Indra. Then that Indra is a reflection of the Indriya Abhimani Devata within us. So all of those things are next and next and next and next. Now we know. So in Samskrita, names have different layers. Every name in the highest sense is for Bimba Rupa. Then it comes to Devata Rupa. Then it comes to Bhuta Rupa. Just like Agni means Paramatma first. Then Agni Deva, then Bhuta Agni. Very important to understand, because in the Brahma Sutras, they deal with one of the issues raised by Charvakas. Charvaka says, what is this Vedas and all of those things? It's like cock and bull stories. It's nothing. It says fire is speaking, tree is speaking, water is speaking. Does fire speak? Then they say, no. When the fire is speaking, will the physical fire speak? No. When the fire is speaking, it's talking about Agni, Chetana Agni. Chetana Agni is speaking. Right? So then it says, no. When we say fire is speaking, nobody is saying Bhuta Agni is speaking. If somebody says Bhuta Agni is speaking, they are foolish. But the Upanishads are not talking about physical fire. They are always talking about Agni Devata. And then, in the highest sense, talking about Agni Paramatma, his Bimba. Agranitvat, Anganitvat. That's the Paramatma form it's talking about. Right? Is it too much, or are you understanding this?
Yeah, understand.
One name, first in the fullest sense, applies to God, who is the Bimba. In the secondary sense, applies to the Devata, who is the reflection of that. In the tertiary sense, applies to the physical manifestation of that. So Agni means what? Agni basically means Agni. Etymology. Aga means what? That which cannot move. Ni means what? He who takes them. That means those that cannot move, he who moves them that cannot move. What? Paramatma alone. He is the prime mover, like the Bimba is the prime doer. We are the reflected doers. So Agni is like that. Agni is that. Agni. That is not Agni Deva. Agni Deva doesn't do that. He is not the prime mover. Paramatma as Agni does it. Right? Then Agranitvat Agnihi. That means he who is the messenger that is between the man and God. That Agnim Dutam Havamahe. That one. That Agni is Agni in that sense, as a messenger. Right? Is it good? Understood?
Yes.
How that is connected, right? The names, that is where the names come. I keep saying in every word, every sound in its highest sense is always the name of Paramatma. Then in a limited way to the Devatas, and then in a tertiary sense to the physical entities. That is how the names are. Right? So now it says Eko Vashi. Independent controller is but one. Sarva Bhutantaratma. He sits within all of the Jivatas. That are many. Ekam Rupam. One form at the beginning of creation. Bahudaya Karoti. He makes many of his forms, multiple forms. And each of that forms become Bimba Rupa of the Pratibimba, which is different Devatas and all the phenomenon in the world. Tam Atmastam. Such a Paramatma, such a Bimba Rupa that is sitting within us, Atmastam, ye anupashyanti dhiraha. Those who have lost their Ajnana can see with their mind's eye their Bimba form. Tesham sukham shashvatam na itaresham. When you find that link, when you can experience that, for them is the eternal bliss of their jiva, swabhava, not for others. So basically it's talking about the moksha karaka. Moksha is from that Bimba Rupa. That means until we lose the Ajnana within our hearts, we will not see him. We will not experience the Bimba for us. And until we do that, there is no moksha. But those who can do that, those who have lost the Ajnana and can see in their mind's eye, in Atma Sakshi, for them is eternal bliss, not for others. Tesham sukham shashvatam na itaresha. Beautiful this one is. Right? Goes on. Again, this is a very, very important verse here. Nityo nityanam, chetanas chetananam, eko bahunam yo vidadati kaman, tam atmastham yeno pashyanti dhiraha, tesham shantihi shashvati na itaresham. Again, it's saying, right, one and many. He is one, we are all many. That's what it's saying. But the one controls the many. So it says, Nityo, here, this Purva Rupa is there. This is not right. It's Nityo Nityanam. Eternal among the eternals. Chetanas Chetananam. The consciousness among all the conscious. Eko Bahunam E Vidadati Kaman. Right? Let's understand first this. Nityo Nityanam. What does eternal among eternals mean? So this was a very important discussion I've had many years ago. Now, see, eternal, there's no categories of eternal. Eternal means what? You are in the past, there was never a beginning. You are in the future, there's never a beginning. So how do you differentiate two eternals?
So, Bimba, Pratibimba, both are eternals, but Bimba is the one that is eternal most, we can say.
No. Right to a certain extent, but not fully right. Okay. If it was just eternal, then if Paramatma is also eternal, I am also eternal. So it's the same. What is the difference between me and Paramatma in terms of eternality? It's the same. Eternal means what? You existed in the past, you exist in the future. I exist in the past, I exist in the future. What is the difference? Then it says, no. See, in the sense, Nitya Nityanam is what? When we say, he's the king of kings. That means, king is greatest among people, and even among the kings who are like greatest among people, the kings have their own king, the emperor. So that was king of king means like that, right? So eternal of eternals means what? We are all eternals, right? There's no birth or death for Jiva Swarupa. He's eternal of eternals means one. We are dependent eternals, he's independent eternal.
So should we also look into this when the pralaya happens, the jivas are all within the stomach of God, Paramatma. So again, the independency there, that they are within the eternals, that the one who is independent, that is the super eternal.
Correct. And that's why it says Eko Vashi. There's only one that is in control, that controls everything, including the eternality. See, we don't control eternality, right? Like, I don't control my jiva. Right? Whether it began somewhere or it didn't begin, was it in our control? Whether the jiva will exist in the future or will go away, is it in my control? It is not in my control. That is what Krishna explains to it. See, that's why they use this in Bhagavad Gita, second chapter. Because, see, Krishna in the second chapter says, why are you worried? What is the cause of your suffering? Is it the body, the destruction of the body? No, it cannot be, right? Body gets destroyed, and then some destruction happens, but the dukkha is because of abhimana, right? So he talks about destruction of the body and the dukkha that arises out of it and how to deal with it in situations. And then he talks about jiva. Is there a destruction of jiva? No, it's not a destruction of jiva. That is the second part of Sankhya Yoga, where he says that, but there is a reason why jiva is indestructible. Because he is always connected to indestructible Paramatma. Because Paramatma is eternal, jiva is eternal. So our eternality is a derived eternality. Paramatma is independent eternal, we are dependent eternal. The question is, can Paramatma destroy jiva if he wants? Yeah, of course, right? And there is a mantra in the Bhagavata, something it says, Dravyam karma cha kalascha swabhavo jiva evacha yad anugrahataha santi nasanti yadupekshaya. That means, this one, our karma, our astitva itself, everything exists because he wants it to exist. They will not exist if he wills otherwise. Right? Because he wants, we are here. That's it. Nasanti yadupekshaya. If he doesn't want it, we will not be there. So that means I am eternal, not because of me, because I don't control my eternality. I am eternal because he has given me that eternality. He is always eternally connected to me, and that is his will to make me eternal. Again, that is also not mine. Do you understand? Now it makes sense. Eternal among eternals now makes sense. Oh, one is really independently eternal. Other, us, we are dependent eternals. We depend on him on this connection. Got it?
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Chetanas chetananam. That means We are awareness. Jiva is awareness. But he's awareness of awareness. What does that mean? That means he's infinitely aware, and he's the one that gives awareness to my awareness. So I'm aware because of his awareness. I'm not aware independently of him. Because he is aware, I'm aware. Right? It's like I wear a white t-shirt and the reflection has a white t-shirt. Like that. He is aware and he has given that property to me. So he is independently aware, I am dependently aware. Even that is given to me. Right? That's why Chetanas Chetananam, I am Chetana, he is Parama Chetana. I am Nitya, he is Parama Nitya. Right? Chetanas Chetananam, Eko Bahunam. Among all of these jivas, different jivas, infinite jivas, he is the one independent, infinite Paramatma. Eko Bahunam. Yo Vidadati Kaman. That means we all desire. Desires are infinite. Those who desire are infinite. The giver of the desire is one. Amazing. Don't you think this is amazing? Eko bahunam yo vidadati kama. Bahunam kaman ekaha vidadati. Right? He bears and he gives. Dharana and dana. That means all the what is one of the jiva gunas? To desire. That is a fundamental guna of awareness of jiva is to desire. All of the jivas, they all desire. Who gives the outcome for the desire? Who gives the desire? Who fulfills the desire? One. My strength is what? My property, my strength or my property is to desire. I cannot fulfill my own desire. I can desire, he is the one that fulfills my desire. It's like Rashi and Navamsha. The fulfillment of desire is in the Navamsha. The desire is in the Rashi. Right? I desire, he fulfills. So he says, Eko Bahunam yo vidadati kaman. Not just me. The Brahma's desire to liberate, that is also fulfilled by Paramatma. All the jivas, whatever desires they have, of course, not everything is fulfilled, but when it gets fulfilled, it's not us that fulfilled our desires. Then we could have done without that, Paramatma. Then why would we have some desires, many desires unfulfilled and only some fulfilled? Because we don't control the fulfillment of our desires. It says, Ekaha bahunam kamam vidadati. Tam atmastham. That person, that one Paramatma that fulfills the desires of everybody, all the desires. Where is he? He's sitting in each of our hearts as our bimba form, as our ishta form. Ye anupashyanti. When we see him within us, when all the darkness is gone, dhiraha, dhiramanat, once the knowledge comes in, that is when our Atma Sakshatkara can perceive that bimba form. Tesham shantihi, shashwati na itaresham. Shanti basically means sham antaha. That means the highest form of pleasure or highest form of bliss. For them is the highest bliss, not for others. Right? So that means the highest desire is what? Mumukshutva. That means to get liberated, to desire to get liberation. It is only fulfilled for those that can see their bimba form. And that is seen when the darkness in the heart goes away. That's when we see Tesham Shantihi Shashwati na itaresham, not others. Don't you think these two are fantastic verses? No, you have to interact with me. I mean, it is otherwise it becomes a monologue.
It's really thought-provoking. It makes us to think. Need to do this more on the meditation.
Yeah, this all wonder. This is wonder. I talked about rasa. last time, no? Different rasas. This is what rasa is this. Adbhuta rasa. Final climax is the biggest Adbhuta rasa that is coming. So we'll finish it. There's 2 more mantras. Then, then this one. Tad etat iti manyante anirdeshyam paramam sukham katham nu tad vijaniyam kimu bhati vibhati va. Amazing. It says, but that Paramatma, we cannot know tat etat. Is it this or that? We cannot. Can we know without him making himself known to us? See, when this connection is like this, when he gives, we get. When he fulfills the desire, we get the fulfillment. When he gives the knowledge, we get the knowledge. Can we get the knowledge independently? No. The anugraha has to be there. Jnana, vidya anugraha has to be there, right? So now he says, tad etad iti manyante anirdeshyam paramam sukham. He is the Paramasukha, right? He is infinite bliss. Tat etat iti manyante. Anirdeshya. His anirdeshya is what? You cannot know him fully. Nirdesha means you can point and say, this is exact. Tat etat iti. That means you cannot say, this is it. Paramatma is this. To pinpoint something. You cannot pinpoint Paramatma. Tad etat iti manyante anirdeshyam paramam sukham. That Paramasukha, he's anirdeshya. You cannot point to Paramatma and say he is exactly like this. So whatever we have talked in the Upanishad, what we have done, it is not the full picture. It is just a fraction that it has been given. I cannot still say this is exactly like this. Whatever is hidden from us, we don't know. That means what we don't know is infinite. What we know is a speck.
Beautiful.
Right? Tadetat iti manyante anirdeshyam paramam sukham. He is anirdeshya paramasukha. Anirdeshya means you cannot even say, oh, this is it. Oh, I know for sure he is this. Right? In the think of Katopanishad. One who knows not. One who knows not really knows. Right? That is what it is. He is anirdeshya. Don't say, oh, I know for sure. This is what it is. Don't be so sure. Don't be so sure. Do you think you came up with that knowledge? Are you sure about it? That's what Upanishad this is, kind of playing with us. Tad etat, if you think he is it. Anirdeshyam paramam sukham. Katam no vijaniyam. Kimu bhati vibhati va. How do I know whether I'll get that, whether I can get that knowledge or not? Right? Bhati means, understand, the flash of clarity that you get, that's called as the light shine, right? Oh, we say, it's a way of speaking, we say, oh, the bulb lit up for me. That means, I suddenly understood, it became very clear. How do I know whether something is clear or not? How do I know? Is it me? Can I work on it and become clear about God? Can I know God? Right? How do I know that I can know God? I mean, this is like, then the climax comes, right? Now, this one is the climax of that ends this valli of the Upanishad. It says, na tatra suryo bhati, na chandra tarakam, nema vidyuto bhati kutoyam agnihi, tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam, tasya bhasha sarvamidam vibhati. It is like climax. This is like, think of the climax. It's saying, Natatta Suryo Bhati. The sun does not shine it. It's like, I can see you because the sun is shining. The sun shines and I can get you, I can see and I can get the knowledge. It says, the sun does not shine Paramatma. I cannot know independently, that it's like that, right? When it's like, oh, I'm doing an exploration and investigation and I find out about something. So you need the light to find out, in the sense that, it could be not just physical light, it's a light of understanding and all of those things. But what the Upanishad is saying, sun does not shine him. So sun will not show you him. Right? Na tatta suryo bhati, na chandra tarakam. Moon does not shine him, nor does the stars. Na nema vidyuto bhanti. The lightning is not shining him. Kutoyamani. What else can I say of the physical fire, which is all our lights? It could be Agni, it could be tube light, it could be bulb. Like, there is no light that is showing me. How do I explore? How do I go on an exploration to find out God? Because there is no light that shows him. Nothing shows him. How do I understand when nothing is showing him? How do I understand? Upanishad says nothing will show him. Then why? It says, Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam. How will a light show when he shines, the light shines? The sun shines because he shines. Bimba pratibimba. The Surya is shining because its bimba, Paramatma, is shining. When he shines, the sun shines. When he shines, the moon shines. When he shines, the stars shine. When he shines, the lightning shines. When he shines, the fire shines. These themselves are dependent on him. How can they give him his knowledge? They themselves are dependent on him. So it's not just when we say Surya and all of this, Surya Devata also. Can Surya Devata give the Anugraha Paramatma Jnana? No, he cannot independently give. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. His light is what every one of us shine. Think of Vibhuti Rupa. Among all the warriors, Kartikeya is the primary. That is the light shining. He shines because his bimba is shining. Right? I mean, don't you think this is an amazing? It says, do you think you can know? Do you think you can go and explore? You can know, you can use logic and find out for yourself? No. Do you think the sun will give his knowledge to you? Do you think the moon will give his knowledge to you? Do you think the Agni will give you the knowledge? No. Why? Because they themselves are dependent on him. What will they give you? When he shines, they shine. When he shines, you shine. When he gives you knowledge, you get the knowledge. That's it. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. So that from the beginning, where it says that, he belongs, the body belongs, puram ekadasha dwaram, the body belongs to him. That is the attitude you should have. All the way to devatas are dependent on him. Nobody is independent. Everybody is sheltered in him. Everybody is connected to him. Our connection is like source and its reflection. Finally saying, there is nothing but surrender. When he gives, you get. Nothing, no devata, nobody can give you anything until he decides to give. No devata can give. Right? Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. That means, what will they give? Because their knowledge itself is given by Paramatma. If he gives them the knowledge to give, they get the knowledge to give us. When he gives, they give, we get. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. Beautiful, right? Tameva bhan. See, that is very important to understand. Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam. That means anubhati means anusarana bhati. That means when it shines, all the others follow his shine. That means when the source shines, the reflection follows the source. Right? Anubhati means like the pratirupa. When the rupa shines, the pratirupa shines. Right? So that means when Paramatma shines, then the Surya will shine. Surya will not shine independently. Therefore, don't go to Surya to give knowledge, because he is dependent on Paramatma to give knowledge to him first. Okay? Then, because when he shines, Surya shines. Why? He says, when he shines, we all shine. Our shine is nothing but a reflection of shine. Right? That is, this one sentence is the whole of Vibhuti Adhyaya. Vibhuti Yoga Adhyaya, the 10th chapter in the Bhagavad Gita, is this one line. When he shines, we shine. Which all in a sense, in the Vibhuti, what does it mean? In the Vibhuti, it says what? The prominent among us is shining, right? It's a way of speaking. Right? Hey, you are shining means what? You are prominent. Like there's a group, like among Vasus, there's Ashtavasu. Who is shining in Ashtavasu? Who is the primary among all the Ashtavasus? Agni is. But is Agni shining because of himself? No. Agni is shining in the sense that Agni is great. Agni is the leader of the Vasus because what? Paramatma is shining and giving him that shine. When Agni is great, it's not a reflection of Agni. Agni is great, it's a reflection of Paramatma. So somebody is a chess grandmaster is not because of him, but it's a reflection of Paramatma. Right? So that is, you say, so that is why the greatest of the individuals just say, oh, I'm nobody. He gives, he's working through me. That's it. So you feel like a channel. The greatest the knowledge is that we should feel like we are the channel and the channeling is going on. And when we see the Devatas, we should look at them as channels of Paramatma. Kartikeya is a channel of Paramatma. Shiva is a channel of Paramatma. Brahma is a channel of Paramatma. Prana is a channel of Paramatma. They are channeling the shine of Paramatma that is coming through them to us. They sit within us, in our body, working and giving us that. They know, we should know. Right? Iti Katopanishadi Dvitiyadhyaya Dvitiya Valli. So we have completed the second section of the second chapter. One more is remaining and will be done. Okay. So now I'll open it for any questions, and then next time we'll take up the third section. Any questions? Anything or any topic? Any thoughts? Let alone questions. What are your thoughts? What did you learn from this? What are your thoughts?
So I have a question.
Yes.
So he is, you can only seek him, and
Correct.
it will come to you only if he thinks that you deserve. But that thought of seeking him is also generated by him.
Correct.
Is that what this is saying?
Exactly. But the thing is, our only job is to seek. Do not overthink saying, oh, am I deserving? Do you think I think I'm deserving? Will this happen or not? That is not in your hand. Don't even think about it. Seek. That's it. That's all is in our hands. And again, like you said, even the seeking is also his giving. Because not everybody seeks. And the level of our seeking is very, very different for each other. Right? So everything is anugraha, right? I mean, that's what it's saying. If you in the previous tadetat iti manyante anirdesham paramam sukham. Even my knowing is not in my control. Right? Katam no tad vijaniyam kimu bhati vibhati va. That means, will I get it or not? How do I know? Will it occur to me? Will I understand? The question is no, you will not understand. It's not in your hand, so don't even think about that question. Seek. That's it. That's all is in. So we all tend to overthink. We all tend to think of the outcome. What it's saying is your job is to seek. Do not think what is going to happen, whether it's going to happen or not. If the seeking is honest, the result is going to be there. That's it.
And the thought of seeking is also coming from him. So I'm kind of struggling with what is in my control.
Exactly, but the thing is, see, there is some illusion of control that you need to have. See, the illusion of control will completely go away when you are in the samadhi state. That is the real flow state when that there is no need for any control. At least for now, at this point, it's fine, because see, the thought is not in our control, right? The thought comes to us, thought occurs to us. Right? That's why we say thoughts occur, because we are not generating the thoughts. Thoughts occur, but we act on the thought. We act on thought, right? So the thing is, the seeking thought has come from him. Let me act on it. That's all is what is needed. Or whether the thought comes or not, it doesn't matter.
Is the choice of acting on the thought in my control, or is that also not in my control?
If you act on the thought, that means that you could act on that thought. If you did not, then you did not. See, we are kind of jumping ahead of ourselves by asking all of this. So what do you really mean by that, right?
Yeah.
Acting on the thought, the seeking thought comes. Do I have a choice? Yeah, I mean, you can choose to act. But again, really, did you choose? But
yeah, that's the question, right?
That's a question at a different level, not at this level.
Okay.
So at this level, that you have to act on it or prevent yourself from acting on the thoughts that distract you. Basically, all kinds of thoughts occur to us. We have to act on good thoughts and keep ourselves from the distracting thoughts. That's all is what we need to do.
Sunil, one question.
Yes.
You said everything is controlled by Paramatma. And
Yes.
all the other gods like Shiva, Subramanya and all, everybody is guided by him.
Yes.
So my question is, if we pray to all these gods like Shiva or Subramanya and all, it will have no effect, or it will have some effect?
No. You should pray. That is what it is saying, right?
Yes.
See, they are our guides, like I said. These are all the devatas that are there as our guides. You have to go through these devatas.
Okay.
So for knowledge, you have to go through Shiva. Shiva is the giver of knowledge. So he is the Guru Devata. So he has to be the one that needs to. He is the one that needs to show you the path.
Okay.
Without him showing the path, because he is the Ahankara Abhimani Devata. Without him showing the path, we will not. The thought is not even coming to me.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. So
Thank you.
yeah. So for us, like from our level, think of we are in the lowest level. When we look high, there is all these devatas. They are the ones that are our helpers. We need to go through them, but our understanding should be what? That Paramatma is acting through them.
Yes.
Is acting through them.
Yeah. Okay.
That is all you thinking should be. But our worship should be to all the devatas. We should worship these devatas.
Okay. Thank you.
But worship in such a way that they are also channels of Paramatma.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other question?
So, Sunil, just a key takeaway for me. I'm Nagaraj here.
Yes.
So the key takeaway is seeing the last two the mantras that you were talking about. It is such a powerful statement that knocks off all the misconceptions of Hinduism being a polytheist religion, right? Like it is very clearly saying that Hinduism is a monotheist religion as well, but the way we approach that concept is very different. And I just wish that if these messages are very well communicated to the people who try to argue that Hinduism is a polytheist religion and all those things, it just doesn't make any sense at all. So Hinduism is a monotheist religion. It has one God, and we are all, as we see, all the other devatas are the ones whom we channelize our energy through to get to that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you.
I mean, look at it. Eko Bahunam, Eko Vashi. How many times it is saying there's only one, only one, only one.
Yes.
Right? Then all the devatas are there. So, but what they have done is just clubbed everybody. There's devatas and there's Paramatma. Paramatma is not like a devata. Paramatma is not a position. Paramatma is Paramatma, right? And these are all the, there's all guiding deities that are guiding us.
Yes.
They're not God, they are deities that are guiding us, right? So that is what it is. So, and also that what you mentioned is very important. That is, but the other, thing is, self-realization. There's a lot of this self-realization in big brigade, right? So they only talk about, I realized myself, this thing. Now, look at this. What it is, you cannot even know without his anugraha. So what self-realization? I mean, can a bimba have a self-realization like that? Is it talking about finality of self-realization? No, it is. Finality is what? Tam atmastham ye anupashyanti dhiraha tesham shantim shashwatim na itaresham. Finality is not self-realization, guys. Finality is God realization.
Correct.
So there is a whole of this intellectual Hinduism that has been misguided into the self-realization fellowship and all these things. But that is not Vedanta. That is not there in Vedanta. It is not like you can only do for you. No, you have to have this mentality. You have to look at Paramatma. There is a surrender and self-realization. Yeah, you have to realize yourself as a channel of Paramatma. But then once that, clearing your ajnana, but finality is, that you have to realize the bimba of you. Your unique bimba that is there just for you. That is the final realization. So that is that is another thing. Polytheism is one. This is another one.
Yes, that's true.
There's a lot of Buddhist influenced practices which are very good. Buddhist influences practices where, and it is like, I want to know thyself, right? You need to, I want to know myself. I'm self-realized. So what if you're self-realized? What happens now? Nothing happens.
Yes.
Do you know your bimba? No. Then you're still in the race. You're still going on. Maybe you have been misled even further, right? So that is all those things. Everything is put to rest, and that is the reason why I always stress. People think you are very picky about this. You always correct them. That is, you have to. You cannot make up your own things. When you're talking about sadhana, you need to be guided by the Upanishads. You need to be guided by all of these texts. You cannot I feel this is what it should be. Nobody cares. Right? So the Shabda Pramana has to be there. Agama has to be. What does Agama say? Eko Vashi Sarva Bhutantaratma. Right? It is very tam atmastam ye anupashyanti dhiraha tesham shanti shashwati na itaresham. Nobody else will get any realization, any liberation unless you realize your unique bimba. That is the finality. So now, it doesn't matter if you think, some intellectually something, and then you try to put it in the WhatsApp group, and don't blame me if I correct it, because it is not in line with this. It is not me. I'm just saying follow the guidance of the Upanishad. That's it. Right? So that is very, very important. So these are all the things, right? There's so many misguided things that.
Yeah, it's absolutely true, because see, going in a wrong path, then we will be losing time to come back to the right path and again follow the right path, which means it is better not to follow a path rather than following a wrong path. Otherwise, we'll end up going somewhere, and there may be a point of no return. Right?
Exactly. Yes. And that's what the Upanishad says. He who does not know that he does not know, he is the most dangerous. Right? Because they don't know that they are misled.
Yeah.
And so they think they have self-realized and they're doing something. But there's nothing else you can do, because they are in themselves. They're thinking about intellectually. I found out all of these things, and they're misguided. So there is no other way to get them back. That's unless they understand that, my thoughts, my independent investigation, nothing matters when it is beyond senses. You have to have the guidance of these Agama Pramanas, like the Upanishad, which is very, very, very clear here, saying that unless we see the bimba is the one that gives us liberation, nothing else. So basically, finality is God realization, not self-realization. Self-realization is a milestone. I'm not saying there's nothing. Self-realization is a milestone, but not an end. Just a milestone.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
One more question. Since
yes.
Out of topic question.
Ah.
So I posted one information or class regarding the Rudram because the Kartikeya started. So we have plans to teach us Rudram Namakam Chamakam details and why we do Lahunyasam, Mahanyasam, why the third Chamakam, third Anuvaka comes in the Lakunyasa. So all that details.
Yeah. No, we'll have to do it. I mean, but that itself is a big topic. Any Vedic Upanishad and all of those things. This is Taittiriya Aranyaka. So Nyasa is not part of it. Nyasa, like I said, is just like Vishnu Sahasranama. The Nyasa is not in Mahabharata. Nyasa is something we add for sadhana, for chanting. But just the Namaka and Chamaka, right? Namaka is for protection. Chamaka is for prosperity, right? It's Shiva giving us prosperity, and then Shiva as a protector. Namaka is protector. So that is what it is. So we'll take up one of these days, but it will be quick. It will be we have to do it quick. Otherwise, there's a lot of these things, right? Shiva itself, different forms of Shiva, Ekadasha Rudra, Pancha Rudra. There's so many of those.
It connects with the Upanishad also.
It is part of Aranyaka, Taittiriya Aranyaka, Yajurveda.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, but very Kartika Masa, like I've said before, right? This is the 8th month of the year, and there is 8 is what in the chart. 8 is your end, right? Death, Smashana, all of this is 8th house. So that is where when the sun enters the 8th or the lunar 8th month is for and it reflects the Kritika Nakshatra in the Purnima. So Kartika Purnima is there. I know Nagaraj is there. So I think I don't know if it is last year. Kartika Masa we do Vanabhojana, right? I don't know when we did Vanabhojana, Nagaraj. I thought we did Vanabhojana in Goshala, right?
Yeah, one time we did.
One time. So yeah, Abhinav was asking me, we should have done Sharad Purnima. So Sharad Ritu is still there for Kartika Masa. So yes. Maybe we can do Vanabhojana or something like that.
This Nagaraj. Sunday is the Tulsi Puja, Tulsi Kartika Damodara, and that is when that Dhatri Havana is done.
Dhatri Havana. We can also do Dhatri Havana Vanabhojana.
Yeah. This Sunday, right? Yeah, Sunday.
Is there any program there?
No. In Goshala it is not there, but I cannot attend because in SKV there is Tulsi Damodara Vivaha. Maybe we can do it on the 15th, if possible, on Wednesday only, which is a weekday, I know, but that will be the right day because it is Sharad Purnima also. And,
yeah, we can do. Is it Sharad Purnima? This one, Kartik Purnima is 15th?
I think next Wednesday, because today is Panchami, right? So another 10 days. 10 days from now.
Yeah, let's do it. Then I don't know who will come, but we'll announce.
We can do it in Goshala. Yeah, that's not a problem. So in Goshala we don't really need to. Yeah, it should not be a problem.
Yeah. So we can do that. Vanabhojana basically is in Kartika Masa. The gooseberries, right? It's
Amla.
Amla. It is the season of Amla. So they do. Then we do sitting. Having lunch, or basically it's lunch, but because it's a weekday, we can do dinner. But it should be, they have this Japanese have this forest bathing, right? You walk in the forest like that. This is like forest eating, and the closest forest we have is in Texas Goshala. So I'll check with them, and Nagaraj, you can also check and see if we can do it. I will also check.
Yeah, sure, Sunil. Yeah, let me also see the calendar. I think Kartika Purnima will be good. I think it will mostly fall on Wednesday or a Thursday after this week, after the coming week. So we should be perfect to do it on a day. And maybe we can meet around 6 o'clock, or because I think the daylight saving also ends. So it should be pretty, like by 6:30 it will be dark. And we can end up by around 8:30, we can finish it. That's also done.
Yeah. So we had the fire pit and all of that last time.
Yes,
It's
correct.
beautiful. So this is like forest eating.
Yeah.
And that's what, in this season we have to do that. That's one of the things we do. So we did it last year, and before that we did Sharad Purnima. We did that in Texas Goshala. So I'll Nagaraj will check. I'll also check with Abhinav. Let's we can set it up.
Okay. Sure.
So there's a AI thing. I mean, whatever you discuss in the class, it's already putting in.
Yeah. I automatically I'd set it up.
It generates. So if somebody wants to, go through that, it will be easier. At the end of the class, it is nicely showing, and everything is covered.
Oh, it makes a fantastic job. It does a fantastic job.
Including the Kartika Masa discussion is there.
Oh, is it showing now?
Yeah, I'll show it. I'll show the screen.
Oh.
Yeah. I think you need to.
No, I did it.
You did it. Okay. It's showing now?
No, you have to share.
Okay. Let me see.
I'm sure I'm seeing your furniture.
How do I see that? How do I see that?
No, you have to open that window, that tab, whichever tab that is.
Can you see that now?
No, I'm only seeing your leather chrome feet chair.
Can you see now?
You have to open the tab, whichever tab that is.
Yes.
Now what you do, stop sharing, open the tab, and then share again.
Stop sharing, huh?
Stop the sharing.
Let me see if I can share it. And see, stop sharing, it's not coming.
Okay, let me do that. Okay, I stopped it for you.
Okay. Now,
open that tab or wherever that is coming.
Okay.
And then now share it.
So, a companion. Now, can you see it? No?
No, you have to share it.
I'm clicking, but it's not.
Okay.
Same thing.
No, same thing.
It's not showing. See, are you seeing now?
No, same thing. Furniture.
Stop sharing.
I know you're furniture shopping now.
That's all been going on.
It's okay. I think it will come.
It's AI companion. If you click on the
yeah. I have enabled it. So I didn't know it does while we are talking, but it's good.
It's coming. I mean, it's really nice that I was able to share.
Yeah.
Anyway, I can see it, and if you want, anyone wants it, I can put it there. If you want me to put it, I can put it there.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, Sunil, thank you very much. Wonderful class. Enjoyed it. I'll have to get going now.
Yeah. We'll stop.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks. Bye.
Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachaduramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagatgurum Om.